I'm a little late. I apologize. I had a phone call, very important phone call from a friend, and I had to talk to her for a minute. So I'm sorry that I'm a little late. Let me pop the chat out here. We'll get some people in. I do apologize for being late. What is this doing? See, I'm on. Well, I need to go to live chat, and we need to minimize this. What did I do? I minimized everything. Do you know that everything on a Mac is backwards? It sure is. So let's go to Google Hangouts again. See if I can get it figured out. At least so I can get the chat and the screen together. As you all know, I'm sure. Here we go. There we are. Well, this is the old one. I'm going to close that. There we go. Okay. Let's get into the new one. Restore that chat. Hey, Shelbelle. Hi, doll baby. Glad to see you in here. And if y'all want to share this with people on your Twitter, I'd really appreciate it. Hi, Anna Lauren. Anna Lauren. I think that's so pretty together. Let me get. I'm having trouble. I've got 6 of one and half dozen of the other. Close that. I'm still playing with this Mac. I don't know how everything works just yet, but I'm figuring it out. Little at a time. Here we go. Glad to see y'all in here. Like I say, if you'll just share it, I would appreciate it. That way we can get everybody notified. And as always, I'm going to let the chat lead. Thank you, darling. I appreciate it, Shell. We had some people that were still watching the other live stream, and you know, they were going to come into this one. They were wondering if I was going to do this one today, and I said yes. I think I can manage it. I'm having a low pain day, thank goodness, and I got plenty of sleep. I usually have insomnia, but for the last 2 weeks, I told my husband, I was laughing. I said, I think I've traded my insomnia for narcolepsy because all I've done is sleep. How crazy is that? Usually I'm doing good to get a few hours, but I'm doing better now. Yeah, I always see you in Les's chat. And you know what? That's one of the things that, there goes my refrigerator. Not being able to stay up as late. I miss Les's chat. I miss her so much. And, you know, and I talk to her, you know, through the week. I talk to her on the phone. But I miss being able to stay up and be on her panel or be in her stream. But, you know, and I've missed a lot of the gossip and drama, but I don't miss them very much. So it's, you know, it's been a lot more peaceful, a lot quieter. But yeah, I'm glad to see you in here, Anna. I'm drinking my coffee with my Virgo mug. You know, I always like big mugs. But let's see if we can get a few more people in here, and then we'll begin a discussion. If you have any questions, y'all know just to throw them up into the chat, and I'll try to follow the chat along and answer any questions about different disorders, different psychological problems. And hi, everyone's critic. It's good to see you. Yay, like the waves. Yeah, we do need a break from the drama. And that's why in this, I try to make it, you know, interesting and educational. And whether it's a problem you have or something that you've, you know, seen on TV, or, you know, they've made a movie a week out of and you want to know more about it, or you're just interested in it. You know, it's good to find out new things. But, and, you know, I don't know it all, but I know some. I studied a long time to learn some. But everyone's critic. I think I saw you somewhere in one of the streams, so I'm glad to have you. And thank you for sharing on Twitter again, Shelbelle. If everyone will share, then we'll get some people in, and we can have an interesting discussion. I always like a good discussion. As always, I'm drinking coffee and my Gatorade. And my husband is on his way back from fishing. So if you see me have to angle the laptop a little different, that's why. He does not do cameras. He does not want to be on screen. And I've had his voice on screen before. That's about it. But does anyone have a topic we want to stop? I am doing really well, Anna. It's been a nice break from social media. I've answered DMs and texts, and you know, last week I was planning to go on, but my dog started having seizures, my Merlet. But oh, I'm so sorry for your loss, Anna. But what a beautiful thing to do for her memory. That is really beautiful. I will tell my husband that you said hello, and please tell your boys that I said hello and give them a great big hug for me. Shell Bell has the most beautiful boys and so well behaved and just sweethearts, and I just love them to death. They're smart as tacks. But Anna, it's such a hard thing losing a parent, and we had a lady in the earlier live stream who had literally just lost her mom last night, and you know, prayers go out to her. But you know, the letting balloons off, it's a beautiful thing to do. It's kind of like scattering the ashes, or you know, anything we do to honor, you know, our loved ones who have passed. It's very cathartic. It gives us a sense of, you know, showing our love and dedication and honoring their life, and that's just beautiful. I'm glad you're doing that. They can hear me. They said they love me too and send tight hugs. Big old hugs. I just love her voice. But you know, that's, you know, I haven't lost parents yet, but you know, we make jokes about death a lot in our family, and I guess it's a way, because I don't, like I say, I've said this 1,000 times, I don't handle grief, but we used to joke that when my mom died, we were going to have her stuffed, and we were going to put a can of pledge in one hand and a rag in the other, and we were going to exchange her at Christmas. And so we would put her at our fireplace because all she does is clean. And my mom's, among other things, she's OCD, and we just you know, we kind of try to make jokes about things. And all right, everyone's question: how do you help people that don't think they have a problem? Well, it depends on what they're doing. You know, if they genuinely don't think they have a problem, then there is no helping someone that doesn't acknowledge that they have an issue. You know, that's one of the hardest things to do. And but you know what? If everybody around you is telling you the same thing, and you keep saying it's them, not me, then you know that's something as a friend. And we need to, as people, when you're a good friend, you hear a lot of people saying echo chambers. Those are people that just yes you to death. If you have a friend and all they ever do is agree with you, they're not really your friend. They're just an echo chamber. They're helping you form your, you know, yes, 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 yes. And that's not healthy. A good friend will tell you when you're wrong. A good friend will say, you need to stop doing that. That's not healthy for you or others. And it's an adult child. It could be any personality disorder doesn't like to hear, you know, anywhere from a narcissist to, you know, borderline, you know, even in manic states, you know, we're talking like borderlines, bipolar, you know, hysterical personality. You know, when you're in a state and you're in defense, you don't want to hear that you're wrong. And that's what a lot of people are into. So as a good friend of a person who is having issues but doesn't want to admit it, you sit them down and you tell them calmly. You don't yell at them. You don't scream at them. You just say, look, I am your friend. And this is going to be hard to hear, but this, and you say it clearly and logically and say, I want you to understand that I'm telling you this for your health and for your well-being. And yeah, if you're doing that just to keep the peace, then you're saving yourself, but you're not helping your friend. But if they're not really your friend, then, you do whatever you have to get by. If you have to save yourself every time you're around them, why are you around them? You have to look at it like that. Most people who have real issues with society, they isolate, and then they surround themselves with people who just smile and agree to keep peace, because their hysterics and their fits and their outbursts are just too much to bother with. It's easier just to say yes. It's your adult child. That's hard. That's hard. If they're an adult child, they can separate themselves from you and just avoid you and cut you out of their life. And if they have children, then it makes it hard because you want to see your grandchildren. So, hi, hon. But if you're the only one they've got, then maybe it's time to set it. I don't know how old they are, and I don't know what your relationship with them is, but maybe talk about doing family counseling. And is my dog better? Yes, it is. Yes, he is. He's doing much better. He hasn't had any more seizures this week. Yeah, if you smile and agree just to keep the peace with an adult child, then I suggest that you talk to them and say, listen, I think we've got some things that would be better worked out in a therapist's office. You may have to pay for it, but it'll be worth it if you sit down. And don't ever attack someone who thinks they're right all the time or refuses to admit to see a problem. You don't want to seem like you're just going in on them. You want to say, I feel this way when this happens. This is how I feel. These are my perceptions. Yeah, it does. Love you too, honey. Pirate, it does. It absolutely. Some YouTubers, well, and you see this in society, and you see this online. They can't admit when they're wrong. They can't look at their own actions. They'll never review their own streams. And I've seen that happening, and I have gone back and looked at myself on streams and gone, ooh, that wasn't good. I need to change that. If you can be critical of yourself in an honest manner, then that's a healthy thing to do. Some people can't do that. And that's when they need their friends, real friends, or loving family to tell them, look at this. And I want you to be honest with yourself. And yeah, please give me thumbs up. But it's hard to see yourself through another person's eyes, but we need to be able to do that if we want to have an honest perception of yourself. Stasha, I'm not a PhD. Ding, ding, ding. Don't have a PhD. And if you think I'm a fraud, then you don't need to be in here. Thank you, Shell. Yeah, there are always a few, aren't there? They don't listen. They just hear secondhand information. But yeah, if personality disorders, they make it much more difficult for them to see themselves. A sociopath never thinks that they're a sociopath. Borderline usually doesn't agree with, they don't, unless they have someone that loves them and can stand beside them and say, hey, you're over the line here, and you need to back off, and someone that they love and trust. And if they don't, then they don't know where what is, wait a minute, hang on. Okay. Hang on just a second. I'm going to add a mod here. Well, if I can get, where are you? I'm telling you, this Mac, I'm not used to it. There you go. Hey, Pirate. There you go. Shellbell, you know Pirate, and I think Puddin's in here too. And I don't know if Steve picked up on this one, but I just made Pirate mod so she can help me out. But everyone's credit. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is the way. We don't do trolling. We don't. Everybody's really supportive, and this channel is for education and for learning about different mental disorders, and for, you know, for support, because a lot of times we have people in our families, people who are friends that is that your cat? Everyone's a critic. Oh, she have a cat. Oh, that I know that cat. Hi, Pie Cutie. It's good to see you. Hi, Erica. Oh, thank you. No, I didn't leave. Merlet got sick last week, so I didn't get to do the stream. But yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Nobody's running me off, and I haven't been served with anything. I know that was so funny. They're like, she's going to be served at her office, and she's going to be taken away in hand. Come on. It was funny. But yeah, Steph Gant is such a wonderful example of someone who understands that she has borderline personality, but she has learned about it. She has studied it. She has worked hard. So she is not the typical, what we would call, you know, what you would see on a movie, that stereotypical, unable to control themselves. She lives a good life. She takes care of herself. It's awesome. Yeah, you need yeah, absolutely. You need everyone's critic. You need somebody to step in, because with a child, children don't listen to their parents. They don't. I mean, especially adult children. But like, for an example, back when I taught dance, I taught everybody's kid. My own wouldn't listen to me. I had to send her to another dance studio for a while, because she would listen to somebody else, but she wouldn't listen to me. So then she came back to me and she was like, I like your classes better, Mom. I'm like, okay, thank you very much. But, you know, it's, thank you. Merci beaucoup. Oh, just Beck. Hi, darling. I'm so glad you made it over here. I saw your comment on the other one. I'm tickled to see you. I left messages, by the way. Beck, are you still running your competition for the 3 vapes? If you all want, or especially if you're in Australia, she has 3 channels. All you have to do is make a comment on each of her videos and sub to her channels, and she's giving away 3 nice vapes. So, but everyone's critic says they've been traumatized by hospitals. They're now scared to talk to anyone. That's unfortunate. I don't know how old your kids are, but I would not take them. If they've been traumatized by hospitals, you might talk to a psychologist, a good psychologist, and have them seen either in an outside treatment facility where it's like a playroom. And so they do play therapy with the kids, or, you know, in an outside office that it doesn't look like a hospital. There are all sorts of places that we can talk to kids, from little ones all the way up. And, you know, it's what makes the children comfortable, and the adults. I know adults that, you know, a lot of people, they don't understand when I say that sometimes I see people online. Well, it's because they have, you know, they're agoraphobic, or they're disabled and they're unable to get into the office but so many times a year. You know, we do what it takes to make the patient comfortable, and that the patient's comfort is the most important thing to getting their mental health, you know, where it needs to be to get them comfortable, to get them secure. And I have patients who start out, you know, who are severely agoraphobic and who I talk to either, you know, by phone. Oh my gosh, there are people who text all night. There are people who FaceTime, then they'll be on the computer with me. And a lot of times I'm running here and there and I don't get to talk to like my friends because I'm talking to patients a lot. But and some weeks are busier than others. But then after I do that for a while, then they're able to come out and come into the office. Or we'll meet the first time like at a Starbucks or at a McDonald's or somewhere near their home that they're comfortable with. So we work on things gradually. That's why I say, you know, I do sessions, you know, in different mediums. So you know, we do that. So the children, if they've been traumatized, then, yeah, just you need to find somewhere and someone that they are comfortable with and that they can speak to, you know. So that's the thing. Now, you said that everyone's a critic. You said that the child is older and you suspect that they're borderline. How old? Anna, people can be very cruel. It's usually out of ignorance or jealousy. You know, Erica, some people, this is from what I've learned, and both in professional and in personal life, is that people are mean. Not, you know, you hear people say hurt people, hurt people. Not necessarily. They don't have to be hurt. Some people just get a power trip out of being cruel. They feel empowered when they can hurt you or bring you down, or when you start out happy and they can control your mood enough to make you angry or sad or cry. They get a feeling of power out of that. And I think that's what evil is. Evil is having enjoyment out of hurting other people and controlling their emotions in a negative fashion. I think that's evil. You know, they get, you know, and there are people that will sit and make up lies just to hurt people. And I've seen it happen. I knew the truth and I saw it, saw the lies being told for no reason other than to discredit or hurt someone. And just pure lies, fantasy. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but there are people who do that. There are people who just lie and want to be cruel. Have just followed you. Who are you talking to, Steph? We classify psychopath and sociopath as antisocial personality disorder, but we're dividing it up. It's, you know, it's going to be separated probably in the next. Diagnosis, schizophrenia and bipolar. That was during psychosis. Her last therapist thought they were wrong, but she quit and is now adult, never looked back. Everyone's critic. She needs to go back and she needs to be evaluated and she needs to be tested, thoroughly tested. And the MMPI is what I advise to have done because we've talked about this before in other streams. It is the most effective way to truly find out what kind of mental disorder or personality disorder she may have. And he or she, or her, okay, she. And so she needs to be tested and then she needs to be treated and she needs to follow through. And once she starts doing that, she has to dedicate herself to it. I mean, this is no different than any other, you know, illness. You have to treat it and you have to treat it right. And if she does that, she'll see a great gain in her life and in the happiness there. Erica says, I do not understand how people can bring children into things and call people's jobs. I had someone do that to me, so I just watch most of the time. Yeah, you can't, Pirate, you're right. You can't diagnose schizophrenia during a psychotic episode. And you just can't, because you can be manic and go into psychosis, and you can be bipolar 1. You can be, actually, you could be any of the classifications of bipolar. You could be borderline. You can't, during a manic episode, our thing is, like, this is when it's critical, and when you're in crisis, we put the person inpatient, get them calmed down, observe, because what happens one minute, I mean, just because somebody's in a rage and hitting people doesn't mean that they have, anger management problems. They may have something completely different. Maybe they have a good reason for doing this. Maybe, and when you're in psychosis, you can do a lot of things that you wouldn't normally do. And you may only have 1 or 2 psychotic episodes in your life. But so she needs to be evaluated and observed, and get a correct diagnosis. So the last therapist absolutely was correct. And Erica, when someone is cruel enough to call CPS on someone, that says a lot about their character. Now, I've seen people say, well, we did it because we honestly thought, the child was in danger, when the child's like in their late teens. That's a flimsy excuse. I've also seen that same person say, well, I thought it was funny to deliver pizza to her. So I don't know, but I don't think in any circumstance you can look at, and I'm going to say this on the line, you cannot look at someone's circumstances and their family situation from what's going on online in an hour, 2 hour, show, because a lot of this show, and say definitively that that person's family life and whether they abuse their children or don't, unless you're actually witnessing, like in the Daddy of Five situation, where the children were actually being forced to fight with one another, where they were being abused for the show, for views. That was a very obvious case. It was, there was no contest in that. Those children weren't. If you see a video where the child is being hit, if they're, that, but these people aren't calling because they're worried about children. I mean, let's face it, they're worried. They just want to hurt someone. Calling someone's job, and yes, jobs have been called. Pirate's job's been called. Other people's jobs have been called. That's just a 12-year-old's move. To do that, if you are so immature that you're calling someone's home, parents, job, if you have to put their address out on the internet, if you're messing with their children or their husband or any of that, you need to get a job. You need to get your own job. You need to get your own life. You need to grow up, because that's something that, I mean, I can remember being 10-year-old, 11-year-old girls and calling the boys we liked, and then hanging up when they answered the phone and giggling about it. That's about the maturity level of that. And, it's ridiculous. And then don't try to come back and say, she doesn't even work there. How do you know she doesn't work there? Well, because you called her job. Okay, that's ridiculous. This needs to stop. There's some guy on Twitter that claims that he knows Ron and that his wife is keeping him from doing anything, but everybody else needs to do something. He needs to shut up and go away. If he's a family member and he knows that something is wrong, then he needs to handle it within the family. But don't get on Twitter and blow and bluster and all that stuff to try to get what? Him thrown off. Ron's already, taken a hit for everything that he's done. I'm not saying anything more about him. I don't care. I didn't respond to his attacks on me. I don't care. His opinion doesn't matter to me. What he does in his own home is his own business. And I don't watch him. I get sent enough clips and information. I'm not calling CPS on him. I'm not calling CPS on anybody. I wouldn't call the police on anybody. I wouldn't dox anybody. I haven't. And everybody's tried to dox me though. But yeah, Steph had a wonderful live stream with me, and it was amazing. She's just a wonderful person. Please watch it. Yeah, go back and watch the live stream. But let's see. Yeah, they do have too much time on their hands, and you know, and it's so stupid. Don't call a jail. Like they're gonna tell anybody that who works there. I mean, you could be a convict wanting to come in and, you know, blow the place up. Don't be stupid. Yeah, the stuff that was said was just so crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, Anna. You know, we have to look back at, you know, the way this all started. And look at, all right, you want to look at all this psychologically? You want to break it down? It's kind of cool when I do this. This all started and everybody was friends. Okay. Then, and Katie and Ron knew each other. They were friendly. They were on friendly terms. Yaba came in. They were all on friendly terms. Yaba and Ron didn't click. They didn't click at all. And that's okay. You're allowed to have two different friends. Well, then there were some arguments. Sam Telfer came in. Kirsty came in. Kirsty and Yaba had a little, I don't know, a little long distance. I'm interested in you kind of thing. Then they all started shifting. Everybody started shifting loyalties. Finally, Yaba and Ron decided that they can't both be friends with Katie at the same time. She has to pick. Well, Katie said, well, I've known Ron longer. And then Kirsty said, you have to pick between me and Katie. And now these are adults. So it split. It all split. And Ron and Katie were friends. Yab and Kirsty were friends. They were all mad at each other. They were all angry with themselves. And then it all flipped around. And then Ron and Kirsty became friends. And Katie and Yaba were back being friends. And it's just escalated. And then you add Truthfully Trisha in, and then she got iced out. And, you know, and they started doing mean things to each other. And then it got meaner and meaner. And then the subs got involved. And there was, people stopped drawing the line where to be cruel. You know, you can be mad at your friend. You'll say a lot of things, but there are places you will stop. You know, like you can say things to your best friend, but if someone else said that, you would sock them for it. That's the way. Everyone's critic, please come again. Please come back. Hi, Nikki Lee. But, you know, we forget our boundaries. When we've been close friends with someone, we know where their soft spots are. And I think we all everybody in there kind of forgot that you don't cross those lines. And now we have everyone doxxed. We have people having nervous breakdowns. We have everybody angry at everybody else. And it's no longer fun in this drama community. Yeah, and we have Mama Bear, and we have Truthfully Trisha, who, if she had been smart, she would have stayed away from social media. She was supposedly doing well. She lost some weight. Now she's back. You know, and Mama Bear's not making it any easier. She stirred the pot until TT came back, and you know, and it's all fighting. There's no relief. So yeah, Cutie Pie comes in here. Hi, Cutie, excuse me. But you know, and the thing is, people will be worn out. You know, you can only take so much, right? I mean, hi, Emily. Of course, you are welcome to be in here. We're just talking about the, you know, the psychological effect of all this fighting in the last year, year and a half. But yeah, prank calling phones, threatening to beat people up, calling CPS and jobs. Where else do you know that you could get away with threatening to curb stomp somebody? Nowhere in my life. Nowhere in my life. It's, you know, it's like, because everybody's behind a screen, they get really brave and they say things that they would never, ever say in life. And they do things that they would never do in real life. And I think if everyone steps back for a minute and looks at the behavior and looks at the threats and starts actually thinking about the weight behind their words, maybe this will stop. Maybe this will calm down. And people will say, hey, you know, do I really need to put their address out there? Do I really need to call their job? Do I really need to call CPS? You know, maybe that's not such a bright thing to do. You know, maybe that's too much. You know, I wouldn't do that to my neighbor. Why would I do that to someone on a screen? You know, I think we forget the boundaries when we're online. But it does. It takes the human element out of it. We become we're nameless and faceless for the most part. Someone was mentioning that we're all hiding. Because somebody was like, you won't show, of course to me, you won't show your true identity. You won't show your credentials and all this. And I'm like, you're not showing anything of yours. They have a nickname, a screen name, and they have a picture of something random. I said, I don't know who you are. I don't know your real name. I don't know your real occupation. Why should I hand you all of my personal information? I don't know anything about you. You could be a serial killer. And that's true. We don't know people on the other side of this monitor screen. And so a lot of times we feel like we have a right and, you know, not just the capability, but, you know, the ability to be more cruel than we would be in any other aspect of our life. I know in my job, I would be fired if I've said some of the things that I've had said to me on here. And I'm trying to be more aware. And you know what? I've said some awful stuff too. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I've said some nasty stuff and I've cussed a lot. I don't cuss at my job at all. But yeah, I'll let out a zinger every now and then, sometimes online. And, you know, that's not professional of me, but I'm not in a professional setting here. But when I think about some of the other things that I've said, I'm like, that's not how I usually speak. But, well, Pirate did that. So, Pirate put her number out because she said, I'm not going to let anybody have the power to dox me. And you know what? She's gotten a few prank calls. She had somebody sign her up for that fake, you have a warrant in such and such state, call this number. And that's something that a child would do, doing that. But she was like, screw you, you don't have to dox me here. You know, it's actually saved her probably from a lot of harassment, you know. Yeah, we've all been on the hate train. And you know, the thing is, you have to take everything that is said with a grain of salt. And not everybody's 100% right. Not everybody's 100% wrong. And I'm trying to do a better job of being a better person online, because I got swept up into it too, you know. I got started on YouTube to find out how to repair my washer. Yes, I found my answers, but then I fell down the rabbit hole. Oh, I found out. I started out watching BBC documentaries. I did. And I forgot how it happened, but I ended up watching things on Roman prostitution and prostitution rings and Pompeii. And I was like, and before I knew it, I was on Escorts and Colbert. I'm like, how did this happen? and and my husband comes in and said, what in the world are you watching? I said, I have no idea. He said, turn that crap off. And I said, I think I will. I'm learning way too much that I don't want to know. Oh, you know, and that's the thing. And that's where you're talking about dragging people to the brink of suicide. Okay. This is where we have to know our own limits too. Now, I've seen many people go, don't you just want to take a hit? Don't you just want that needle in your arm? Why don't you fill up the needle full of air and shove it in your arm? Why don't you take that? Come on, you know you want to snort those pills. You know you want to crush them up. I have seen live streams. I think we all have. I think y'all know the one I'm talking about, but there's more than one where people have actually told people how much they wanted to overdose and how much they wanted to kill themselves. That right there should be prosecuted. Okay, because there are people online who are vulnerable. They're vulnerable enough to fall for that. And if they're not strong in their sobriety, then they could very well go, yeah, you know what? Screw it, I will. Yeah, because I don't belong here. I don't need to be here. And they will take that advice. But at what point do we have to say, turn it off? If you're vulnerable, and and we have to look out for those we love, because people who are depressed, people who are, really thinking, contemplating, having suicidal ideations, they really shouldn't be on the internet because there's so much toxicity. And I hate to say that because there are positive channels. I try to make this a positive channel, but I worry for people who are easily influenced being on some of these channels and running across some of these that are so filled with hate. You have to be, some people can't be personally responsible. I know people who have to have guardians, and, they're in their 40s or 50s, and they have to have a guardian because they can't be responsible for themselves. In those situations, they need to have someone that is on alert and watching, maybe put, a filter on YouTube. You can filter what comes in and what you can see, just like for children. But it's also up to the creators. If you're putting out stuff like that, toxic, evil stuff like that, you should be prosecuted for it. If someone takes their life, hey, it's the same as you holding the gun to their head and egging them on like the devil on their shoulder. It's hard to determine exactly where that line is, but if you're doing stuff like that, then you're stepping on it. If you're screaming at somebody personally and calling their name and telling them what a POS they are and all this stuff, if that person hurts themselves, they should be able to, the family should be able to come back and charge you for it. So that's why I say be very careful what you say and do online. You never know what's going to flip that switch and make them say, fine, I'm done. You have to be accountable for what you put out. Yeah, I don't like how, I don't think anybody should be driven off the internet. I can't stand to see when people gang up, especially with a lie. They'll make things up and then gang up on people to drive them away. I don't like those. And those, you're right, those most affected won't step back. That's why we need to, if you see that you're doing this to someone, if you see that you're really hurting someone, stop. If you're seeing that they're literally going crazy, having a fit, if they're in turmoil and they're live streaming and screaming and all that, stop. You can't keep hurting people. Yeah, some people can take a little, others can just blow it off, go, whatever, but you have to be sensitive to all sorts of people. There are people who can take it, and there's those that can't, and we've seen that. Mama Beth, have you ever heard of the Crosses text line? Yes, I have. And That's working out fairly well. I prefer the call-in line because you get to hear a voice, but where our social interaction is more with texting. Yeah, and if you'll throw that up in the if you'll throw that up in the chat, I'd appreciate that. But I don't have it. I don't think I've got it on anything right here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Pirate. If he hadn't snatched her purse, she would not have died. Therefore, they're going to be responsible. Yeah. You know, and it is a mob mentality, pack mentality. And there seems to be a different target. Have you noticed that the targets are changing? They move from one to another to another. And I get it that we have friends and we have people that we like online, and but I think if all of us step back and see what we're doing and make decisions for ourselves, and and if you like somebody and you don't like somebody else, that's fine. But do you need to harass them? Do you need to call them names? Do you need to, do you need to say these things online? What's the point? Whether it's Trisha or Mama Bear or Katie or, whoever, Ron or the players in the latest drama, you can see what's going on, but do you have to add that extra sword? You're getting stabbed. You can get stabbed with needles so many times, but eventually it'll be enough to where you bleed out. And we don't know people's backstories and we don't know people's histories. We only know what they tell us. So, yeah, 1 against 300. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Emily. I appreciate it. Okay. I appreciate you helping me. But, you know, you text 741-741. There you go. Couldn't remember the number. Yeah, there's some really great apps out there if you suffer from stress. Also, if you have ADHD, there are apps that are geared towards, or ADD or ADHD. There are apps geared towards helping you focus, that just let you do repetitive motion. There are also CBD and DBT. CBT, why did I say CBD? I guess I had it on my mind. I don't know. CBT and DBT apps, and they will help you also learn how to manage behavior and your emotions and anxiety. They've got some really good ones out there now, and I always recommend them to patients that I'm working with so they can continue working in between sessions. So yeah, the ADD, there's several of them. I've got, I forget the names. I'm terrible with names. Y'all have to forgive me. I've got CRS. But go on there and look, and they're much better than a fidget spinner because you can always have your phone with you. But fidget spinners annoy everybody, and so they like to have something that you can just click, 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 click. But there are games that don't make any noise, and that you can keep working with. So, but I have ADHD, and there's a lot of times that I just need something to click. I used to click pins, drove everybody crazy, so I don't do that anymore. But yeah, so the thing is, when there comes a time when we have to turn off, and honestly, I took, a good 2 weeks off from social media. I still texted, and I still answered my Twitter DMs because that's how a lot of people get in touch with me. And, it was really nice. I still talk to my friends on the phone, of course. People texted me, but it was very calm. I actually wrote a book. But Erica says, I have a gay son, and how these chats beat down the gays make me want to go off. Yeah, you know what? There is a lot of homophobia It's funny. There are a lot of gays in like the drama chats. We have, I noticed there's several, gay guys in each one, but then they use homophobic slurs, and I have a real problem with that because I have so many friends who are gay, lesbian, bi. My best friend's bi. Um, I don't like any kind of discrimination at all. And in fact, I tease my daughter all the time. I'm like, well, I'm glad I got you, but I wish I had a gay son because at least he would help me clean and decorate. And she just laughs. But you know, the I don't like any kind of discrimination. Any ones. They think it was more ADHD when I was younger, but I'm 29 and just got diagnosed. Honey, I didn't get diagnosed till I was in my 40s. How crazy is that? But I know it was ADHD when I was younger, and it's still ADHD now because I still get distracted. And Erica, you are welcome here any day, anytime. Hi, Steve. I wondered where you were. You said you were going to be here. You must have got sidetracked. I hope you're feeling better. How's your blood pressure? Now, Emily, are they going to put you on like a non-stimulant, like Strattera? Yeah, stop by Pirates at night. She always has a good chat. It's always interesting. She had Cab 7 on last night, and I got to watch a little bit of it, and then I went to sleep. Apparently, shit hit the fan on YouTube, but I was asleep during it. So, you were at the hospital with your brother. Is your brother okay? How's your brother, Steve? Don't worry me. Oh no, he broke his leg. Well, I hope he's all right. Was he out chasing women? You just met with your psychologist to get the results of testing. Okay. Um, they have both stimulant and non-stimulants. Uh, and the non-stimulant is they'll probably put you on something like Strattera, or they may try you out with like something traditional like Adderall or something. But know that if you take the Adderall, if they start you out on that and you start rattling, going and your teeth grind, know that there are other medications that you can take that won't do that. They're non-stimulant. Cab 7 is great. You're funny. Hi, hey Kelly, how are you? Hey, was riding a four-wheeler. Lord, broke his leg. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. Vivance is a good one. I see. I take Adderall and I'm fine. I tried Strattera first because I have anxiety, and it didn't do a thing for me. But it does work for other people. But the Adderall I can go to sleep on. Yeah, Emily, when I found out, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Well, it's funny. I work with people who have other things, but you don't diagnose yourself. You don't think anything of it. You just think you're normal. You just deal with it. But then when somebody says, "Oh, you have this," you're like, "Okay, yeah. Why didn't I think of that?" You know. Good. I'm the one who chases women he's married. uh, no, Emily, I don't think anybody could say you're lazy or stupid. Hmm. I'm so glad to see you in here, Kelly. I haven't seen you in forever. Pilot Beth, runway 2 is clear. I know I don't have my headset on, but I'm on my new computer. I'm on my Mac Pro. My MacBook Pro. All right, all right. Did you hear Patrick come in? Is that why you're barking? See, Patrick, the dogs know you're here. Yeah, I haven't tried Vivance. I've got a couple people on it, but I haven't tried it. Rosebud says, Beth, there's a lady on YouTube I care very much for. In a friend's kind of way only. She's struggling. I think maybe some medication abuse maybe and other mental health issues. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't need a headset because I'm on my Mac and everything works. Yeah, here's my puppies. Rosebud, have you talked to her about it? Or can you get her in with somebody maybe? She is under fire constantly from the community. Talk to her. Talk to her privately. DM her. Talk to her. Ask her what she needs. Just listen to her. The best thing you can do if someone is in trouble like that and they're self-medicating, maybe abusing, talk to her, listen to her. Ask her questions and say, what's going on? Talk to me. Let me help. How can I help? And, you know, sounds like she just needs some good support, you know, and that's the best thing you can do is be supportive. And, you know, just if she is abusing medication, you know, ask her, you know, if she opens up to you and says that, then, you know, tell her that she can talk to you about it and, you know, offer to help her find some place to go through rehab if she needs rehabilitation, you know. So Kelly, it works great, doesn't it? Feels good to take a break. But yeah, Rosebud, just talk to her, be a supportive friend, tell her that, you know, you're here for her and that you'll help her find a place. There's all sorts of places that she can go if she needs counseling. You know, there are places that do it through like a community center, or, you know, they have like a county mental health clinic, or if she has insurance, that, you know, even Medicare, they'll help with that. If she's got addiction issues, they'll get her some help one way or another. But you know, if sometimes we all get down, sometimes we need somebody to hold out a hand to us. So just talk to her and listen to her. She's out of the country. Well, different countries have different laws regarding, you know, mental health or substance abuse, but just listen to her. And by the way, you can call internationally using Snapchat. So set up a Snapchat and get her too, and you all can actually talk like voice to voice. Your kid was a terror on Adderall and lost 7 pounds in a week, was already scrawny. We gave her 2 cups of Red Bull before school when she was in elementary school. She wanted Adderall to focus at school. Anyway, good Lord. No, you have your ranch. You have your ranch. Yeah, talk to her, Rosebud. Get her. You all get on Snapchat, and definitely. Honestly, I don't like to put kids on ADHD medication unless it's absolutely necessary. I think some kids just need different parenting. You know, people say, well, my child's autistic, I just had to learn to parent them different. And I'm like, well, if you can do that with children that have, you know, developmental disorders, you know, like kids on the spectrum, you can certainly do that for kids with autism. And I've seen that work, and or not autism, with ADHD. You can redirect, and keeping them very, very busy. And that helps a lot. And because they're smart, they're fast, their attention span isn't long. But, you know, if it's so much that the child can't rest and they can't get anything done and it's totally disruptive, then, yeah, look at medications. But, you know, if if they can still keep the grades up and they can, you know, and they can focus enough to do that, then just keep them very busy and keep them active and learning new things, you know. It's my story with multiple things. My dad didn't want me tested for anything and just felt that was too much. Now I'm doing the testing as an adult. That happens a lot, Emily. Parents don't want their kids tested. They don't want a stigma on the child. Rosebud, there's a enabler means that you're just basically yesing her. And you know, you don't have to have an argument or disagreement in public. You can be talking to her in DMs, you know, or, you know, behind the scenes and saying, let's talk about this. You know, you don't have to be an enabler or a critic. There's an in between, you know. YouTube has been very weird. Yeah, I wouldn't want my child just being medicated and that was it. You know, there needs to be a change in the parenting style and the dynamic in the home. And, you know, two kids can be in the same home and one could have ADHD and one not, and they need different parenting styles, you know, very much. You wouldn't like Chelsea Handler. She's an extreme liberal. She's paying, and she's also drunk. Absolutely, Emily. Absolutely. Kelly, if you know if your son is having ADHD symptoms and he hasn't been diagnosed, you'll notice things like coffee calm him down instead of, you know, jack him up. But you know, these things, stimulants reverse most of the time with most of the children who have that diagnosis. And you know, I've known parents to give kids coffee to calm them down, you know, like before they go to school. But you know, it just depends. They sure can, Emily. They can present very differently. Like girls, it's just interesting to watch when you see kids. School teachers are starting to become better at recognizing it as well. Yeah. Yep. Hence the Red Bull. um, Kelly, it's the way the brain works, and I know from personal experience, I can drink coffee and go right to sleep. I can take something like a pain medicine, like whenever I've had to take pain medication, and I'm wide awake. I'll be up all night long. Like something that would knock somebody else out, like a Percocet or something like that, Vicodin. If I take that, I will be wired for sound. I mean, I won't be in pain, but I'll be up cleaning the kitchen and the house and running a vacuum, wanting to clean carpets, and I'm just like, da, 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 da. But I drink coffee and I go to sleep. I take my Adderall, I could go to sleep. So, yeah, see, Rosebud, same thing. And it's just a difference in the way the brain chemistry is. There's an actual difference. ADHD, all of these diseases show different functions in the brain acting at different times. Like, did you know they finally have shown that people with fibromyalgia have differences in their brain? They've gotten enough people with diagnosed fibromyalgia to show that there are actual differences in the brain, just like with ADHD and other things. So, but yeah, if he's got ADHD or ADD, give him a cup of coffee. Give him strong black coffee. See what happens. Do it on weekends just in case. But, you know, uppers like caffeine will just slow him down, help him focus. Yeah. Any kind of a painkiller that normally makes anybody go to sleep, I'm like wanting to scrub the bathrooms and yeah, or I honestly, I could, uh, you know, take some back when the pain was really bad. Um, that's how I got all my schoolwork done. It would be, I would take something when the pain got really bad, and I'd be like, duh. And I would end up writing all my papers and everything like that. And, I'd be exhausted afterwards, but I'd be like, oh shit, it's done, you know? Yeah. Fresh coffee at midnight. Yep. Yeah. When I've been in the hospital, and, DKA is extremely painful, diabetic ketoacidosis. It's literally like having acid in all of your veins and arteries. And because your blood does turn acidic. And they would give me like serious pain meds, and I'd be wide awake. And they'd be like, you should be knocked out. And I'm like, laying there. Oh, I'd be a little loopy sometimes, but that was because I was in DKA, not because pain meds. Yeah. So you're reversed too. See, they did not diagnose people with ADHD before like the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, they just didn't do it. They didn't test you for it. They didn't dose you for it, nothing. Yeah. Well, see, you think that, oh, don't make him even more energetic. It probably would have just knocked him out. It would have slowed him down. I wish I had known this when I was little, um, because my parents could have given me some caffeine and I would have just chilled out. Oh, I'm sorry, Erica. I have type 1 diabetes as well. And I can't get my sensor to work right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, it's amazing knowing now that I have ADHD, and I look back at the things that happened when I was young that got me in trouble all the time, and it was just from being overactive. Isn't that interesting? They thought that red dye number 5 would make kids hyper, and they also thought sugar does. Sugar doesn't. That's a myth too. Remember how they used to tell you, don't give your kids any sugar. Oh my God, don't give any sugar. That'll make them hyper. Mm-mm. You can give some kids sugar and they'll be going, crash. So, especially if they have insulin problems. You both follow that darn Mama Beth. uh, oh gosh, deviated septum. Yeah, there's a lot of diabetics. Yeah, and it's my sensor. I swear, I charge that sucker up, and then I get it in, and then half the time it doesn't want to link in or whatever. And I'm like, screw this. This is just a pain in the ass. So you missed out on so much fruit punch. Well, you can get Gatorade 2, the G2. It has a total of 50 calories for the whole thing, for the whole bottle, which works out usually just right. So I don't drink so much that I make myself crash. But it's got your electrolytes in it, and they make this in red. And I can't drink it because I get red lines right there. I only drink the orange. Yeah, that damn sensor, I'm telling you, that thing is made from the devil. I'm just like, it worked once. It worked for like one span, and now I can't get the damn thing to work again. Oh my God. I'm just like, I hate it. I want it to work. It was nice when it did work. West Virginia bourbon, Gatorade. Oh Lord. I can't get the sensor I mean, it's like I feel stupid. If something that I'm using makes me feel stupid, then I'm just like going to say, screw it. Not using it. Not going to feel dumb. Yeah, I drink way too much Gatorade. We should own stock in the company. Oh, did I tell y'all what I did to Gatorade? Okay, let me tell you what I did. This is kind of funny. Okay, well, I'm addicted to Gatorade. Y'all know that. That's my vice. I'm addicted to Gatorade and coffee. And but my Gatorade wasn't tasting right. You know how when you drink one thing over and over and over again, like whether it's Coke or Pepsi or Gatorade or coffee or whatever, you know when there's a difference. You know beyond a shadow of a doubt when something's not right. And well, my Gatorade, it wasn't the right color. It was like a little light, and then it wasn't flavored strong enough. It was like they hadn't put enough stuff in it, like the flavoring. So I called them, you know, the little number that you get on the back. And I said, I just want to let y'all know. I said, I'm not trying to call and cause any problems or anything. I said, but my Gatorade doesn't taste right. They're like, what's wrong with your Gatorade? And I told them exactly what kind of Gatorade I drank. And said, I only drink orange unless you don't have it. And they got like the batch number and everything out. Do you know they sent me like 24 coupons for Gatorade? And said, thank you for letting us know. And then called me back and said, yes, there was a problem. That apparently the machine was off or whatever. But I got 24 free things of Gatorade, packs of Gatorade. So I was kind of happy. But yeah, my Gatorade wasn't tasting right. Oh Lord, you had to quit Gatorade. See that I have the it's called lower sugar. It's only got 50 calories in it, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, I'm addicted to this stuff bad. Let's see who all's in here. I'm telling you, it's on the thing. And they were so nice to me. It's 1-800-884-28. Shit, I can't see. It's 2867. And let me tell you, that lady was so nice to me. Because I was like, I don't want to bug y'all. I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt. But my Gatorade doesn't taste right. And they called me back and everything. And they got me. They got my address, and she got the batch number, the exact batch number, so she knew which one. I said, it's been like this 2 weeks. I can't do this no more. And yeah, so anyway, I was tickled. Let me see. What am I missing in the chat? Yeah, I'd like to find a cure for diabetes. I will vote for that. In fact, I said, whatever my daughter doesn't want to inherit, we're going to sell. When we die, I want it in our will that it's sold, and half goes to RA and half goes to diabetic research. Oh, wow. Did he get the pancreatic transplant? Oh, you have RA too? Oh, wow. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have RA and fibro and Sjogren's. Oh, I had a Sjogren's flare up this past week. Oh my God, my salivary gland, because it affects that. It's autoimmune too. And my salivary gland was all swollen. My lymph nodes weren't, but my salivary gland was so swollen. I couldn't have spit if you paid me. And my eyes felt like they were just full of sand. It was awful. And yeah, I'd like them to find a cure for just all the autoimmune stuff. Just, I don't know, fix it. Yeah, fibro too. And it's weird. And in fact, I saw my rheumatologist on Thursday, and he asked me how I was. And I said, well, I've had a flare of my Sjogren's. I said, I'm ready to start back on my meds because I had to have a lot of surgeries and they had to get my liver straightened out and all this crap. But and he started me back on methotrexate, and then in a month he's either going to start me on Humira or Orencia, and I'm a little worried because Enbrel was not good for me. And Plaquenil I failed on too. So, but anyway, I said, my tongue is so sore. It feels like it's cut all over where I've had such dry mouth. And he said, are you having fibro flares or RA flares? And I said, it's RA, it's not fibro. And he said, okay, because I can tell the difference. A lot of people, he said, can't tell the difference, but I can tell the difference in my joints, or I just run my hands, run my finger like that, and I can tell if it's sore, it's fibro. I can do it up my legs or on my back. But if it's in my joints, I know that, and they get real hot. So, but they cook cadavers. All Langer has replaced. Long story. He was 24, checked his sugar once a day, never higher than 100. Huh. Well, because my friend Chance, he was diabetic and his kidney failed because he was drinking. But he got a kidney transplant from his niece. And then after they had his kidney transplant done, they told him that he could have a new pancreas. And they just got it out of a corpse and put it in. Now he's not diabetic anymore. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, can I just, and I asked my doctor, I said, can I have a pancreatic transplant? And they said, no, not until your kidney fails. I'm like, but it'll take me forever to get a kidney. And they said, well, yeah, probably. And I'm like, well, why can't I just have a pancreatic transplant and then not be diabetic anymore? Wouldn't that make more sense? And they're like, yeah, but we don't do it that way. Of course, Crimson, you can ask me something without getting banned. $32,000. I would pay $32,000. I'd take another mortgage on my house to get that. I welcome questions as long as they're respectful and, you know, not trying to hurt anybody or start any trouble. As long as you're not asking me to dox myself. Oh, Lord. My butt's sore from sitting on this chair. Waiting on my question. Nothing makes sense in health. You know, I don't understand if they can, you know, because it's not like type 2 diabetes where you can lose weight and, you know, all of that. I mean, mine's type 1 and I just want it back. Hang on just a second. What's doxing? That's when people put your information out online for malicious intent. Your personal information, like your full name, your address, any identifying things. Because I'm not getting in the middle of that, Crimson. You know, I'm separating myself from any drama. And, you know, that's, Katie said vile things about her. She said vile things about Katie. I'm separating myself from that drama. Pirate knows that. Katie knows that. I've talked to both ladies, you know, and, you know, Pirate's not in here saying anything about Katie. This is not what this is about. And this is a drama-free zone. And, you know, I can be friends with two ladies who don't like each other, just like I have other friends that other people I'm friends with who don't like each other. So we're all grown-ups here. And if Katie came in, she would be welcome. And, you know, I would have no problem making Katie a mod. And I don't think these ladies would disrespect one another enough to fight in my chat or do anything. So, yeah. I didn't answer. Oh, he's out making fishing stories. He is out. He said that they caught a good amount, but it's too hot on the lake. Katie only said she had no job. Pirate calls Katie names. Oh, they've called each other everything in the book. I'm not getting in the middle of that. I mean, seriously, Crimson, you know that. You know better than that. I've seen all the stuff. I don't need to see anymore. I'm not getting in the middle of that. Erica, you take Emerald. Ambroll made my blood pressure drop so low. I actually had a small stroke on it, and I had seizures as well. So it got real scary for a while, and I had to stop it. Yeah, yeah, it's not something I want to address. It's so Crimson. That's the answer to your question. Just like Uber. But yeah, he's Steve. He got caught. He was caught in traffic. He called me. I guess it's about 3. He called me and said that they were stuck outside one of the tunnels. There've been a lot of accidents lately, and I don't know why. But I think he said a tractor trailer jackknifed, and so they're going to have to get that cleared out. But I don't know where he is right now on the road. But he said they did okay, but they didn't do as well as they did last week. My Lord, they caught tons last week, and of course he had to leave early, and then the week before as well. So coffee doesn't keep me up, but I can't drink anymore because it makes my heart race. Huh. Because with having ADHD or ADD, it should actually calm you down. If it does that, ask for a non-stimulant medication. Steve, he loves it. I always say I'm a bass widow on the weekends. You know, there are golf widows. I'm a bass widow. And if you all hear something go tap, tap, if you'll watch that window, you'll see that bird. He'll come up, fly up to it, and tap his beak on the window. He's fighting with his own reflection. Let me turn it over there a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see him because he's not that good. He's not that big, excuse me. You know what? Most of his are catch and release, but when we go to the beach, we'll have plenty in the freezer because I'm definitely bringing back some fish, if for nothing else to make bisque with. But yeah, it calms your head, but you have problems with your heart rate. They'll have to find something that works for you. Pie cutie, you know, honestly, what I would love to have in my freezer more than fish would be some good venison, some good deer meat. I know that sounds awful. I know the people who love animals are going to be all over me, but we have a plethora of deer. I mean, you can't drive down the road without seeing a deer, at least 2 or 3, just on my road. And so we have a lot, and the hunters, in fact, they're up in the hunters tag limit. But I would love to have some tenderloin. I'd love to have some deer jerky, but everybody I know that hunts eats what they hunt. And that's one of the things I like about living here is that people they don't trophy hunt. They hunt, and, you know, we even have an organization, Hunters for the Homeless. But you cannot drive in the evening fast down any road in this state because you will hit a deer. I mean, I think everybody I know has hit several deer. I have hit deer. Well, I hit one deer 2 times. So I've had 2 accidents that involved 1 deer. Let me make that clear. And then I ran into a herd. I had a little geo tracker. It was so cute. It was purple. My daughter picked it out. But I ran into a herd of freaking deer. Who does that? Who says, yes, I ran into a herd of deer. And they were all over the place. I was like, holy shit. They didn't do a whole lot of damage, but they did enough. But yeah, I'd like to have some good deer meat. So yeah. Oh, see, I love venison sausage. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I have cousins and well, 2 cousins and an uncle that hunt religiously on my granny's property. And they always, and then some other hunters over there, but they they keep everything they kill. So you have deer in backyard all the time and crossroad. Yeah, well, see, we have a herd. There's a big buck. Man, he's got a rack on him. It is huge, and he comes by my kitchen window in the morning and then back at night. And I don't know. I should have counted the does this morning, but he's got a bunch, and they got some little ones. They're so cute, but I tell you what, he comes there twice a day through here like clockwork. And I hope nobody kills him because he's really beautiful. I mean, seriously, he is gorgeous. Yes, I did with a geo tracker. Hi, Lynn. Yeah, I did. It was I was working, I was helping with paper, and Lord God, if y'all know where I'm talking about, it's down a little place called Independence, Virginia. And I was coming up 21, and it's an awful road. But yeah, it was like 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. I was exhausted. Thank goodness I was exhausted and I was going slow because yeah, I ran right into a herd of all the things. Right about at Elk Creek of all the places. Yeah, it's too many. There's too many. They need to come down here and get them. See, I got family all over Virginia, West Virginia, and Tennessee, so they're everywhere. Oh, Lordy. But yeah, my husband doesn't hunt. He fishes. I mean, he fishes religiously. Like, we're going to the beach. We're going to fish. We're going out to the Gulf Stream in a boat. We're fishing from the surf. We're fishing from the pier. He's going to fish. I'm going to read. I'm going to read and relax. But, oh, you're close to Philly. Cool. Yeah, you have to, in the wintertime it gets dark so early, especially here because like in Pennsylvania, it gets dark quick because you've got mountains, and if you're down in the holler, then you know, that cuts off your sundown. Uh, that's cool, Erica. Hmm. Isn't it neat that when you get into a chat and you find out that all these people live close to you? Isn't that interesting? The drive from us to the beach, well, we're going, of course, we're in West Virginia, and we're going to the Outer Banks. So I think he tracked it and said it was going to be about 8 hours or so, which for us it'll be 9 hours because I have to get out and stretch, or else I get all stove up and I can't move. But we're going Outer Banks, and then we're going down all the way to Topsail. I think we're going just a little bit above that. But yeah, I'm excited about it, and just I just want to get some. I just want to get in some warm sun and the sand and have it really nice. I love it. We were going to do that last time, but we had to go the other direction, and it still rained. Uh, Everybody's in PA. Well, Steve's not. Fire's not. Brian is over there talking. Just wanted to say thanks for helping get ready to go out with friends. Oh, I hope you have a wonderful time. I really do. I don't know where you're going, but I hope wherever you go, you have a great time. Well, you just take a drive west, you'll be in the country. It won't be long. I am just outside the city, so but where our property is, there's like, you can't see the neighbors. It's so nice. And that's what I like about it. That's what I like about you. Okay. All right. Let me get this to work right. I love West Virginia. I mean, I grew up a Virginia girl, but West Virginia is beautiful. And, you know, there's not much difference from where I grew up. So I miss having all my, like, the friends I grew up with close and family close, but you couldn't drag me out of this house. I love my house. Wonder where my husband is. Give me just a second. I'm gonna find out where that booger is. Probably buying something he doesn't need. Broke a fishing pole last week. I'm not real happy about it since it's his new one. Steve, do you fish? Yeah, he's up there. He's up there right at the tip top. Mhm. Well, if we ever have a meet and greet, we'll go up top of uh top of West Virginia. We'll all have a meet and greet somewhere up there in a park somewhere. Don't see me hobbling on my cane. I don't know, maybe it'll be fixed by then. I doubt it, but do y'all get nervous if your spouse says, "Where are you?" I know my daughter always does, but I do that to my husband, and he's like, I'm here. I'm there." He's writing a lot. Okay, come on. He has a new phone, but he hasn't set it up yet. Let's see. Oh, my dog. He is doing so well. Um, he was seasoned for a long time, and that's what had me really worried. He has seizures from time to time. Maltese, and they think he's got a little poodle in him, but I don't know. He's a Maltese, and they had, when he first started having them, it was several years ago, and the vet said, "I don't want to put him on phenobarbital because it'll shorten his life." And I was like, okay. And he has them. We just hold him through them, and he's usually okay. And this last one though, it took him forever to get through it, and so the vet said, "Well, we're going to put him on some. It's basically like an oil that's got this medical marijuana in it, and we just put like a drop or two in his food." And the first day, his tummy didn't handle it well, but now he's okay and he's running around doing just fine. So he's my baby. There he is. So he's doing okay. He's running and jumping and acting. I mean, he's got arthritis and his little legs bow out like this, and he looks like he's bow-legged walking. But Marlet's my buddy. Yeah, Marlet. Marlet. But he seems to be okay. He's going up and down steps. He's coherent, and he doesn't seem to be wobbly at all. So I'm okay with the way this medicine's acting. As long as it keeps him from having any seizures, I'm happy with it. So I'm good. Oh, here we go. He has picked up the food. We'll be here in a little bit. Okay. Let's see what his ETA is. Yeah, he will be out behind the house lighting up. Listen, if it would keep that dog living forever, I'd blow it in his face. Oh, he's my buddy. You know, it's funny. He was my first rescue, and my husband got Max, our first wiener, and I said he needs a playmate. And then I saw Marla. He hadn't been shaved. I saw a picture. A friend of mine who was a rescuer, and I said, I gotta have that today. And she shaved him, and my husband said, "What the hell did you get that dog for? He's ugly. He looked like a little rat." I missed that. I don't know what Robin Granny 2 said, but oh well. Anyway, we got him, and she said, he's almost 7. And I said, okay. And I said, how long do these dogs live? And she said, it depends. They live 13, 14 years. And I said, okay, that's a good long time. And his hair grew out, and he got really cute, and my husband started liking him. The dog is now 17, and we adore him. And he's so cute. And I just, you know, he's outlasted all our other dogs except for Brian. Ow. I have RA in my hips, and sitting like this gets to me. But we've done pretty good. We've only had, what, 2 trolls? I'd say that's pretty good for a string, right? But did anyone have any questions they wanted to ask me? Anything, or we just sitting chit-chatting? If anybody had anything they wanted to discuss, you know, bring it up. Or we can just sit and talk. Either way. My week's been pretty busy. I don't know how y'all's has been, but it's been pretty active. I have no idea what she said. I don't know. I did. You missed it. I missed it. We all missed it. She's got to be better at trolling. Oh, well. Erica, I just missed it all. Wait. My husband's like, are you done so we can eat? Question, why is there no sauce cooking? Because it's hot. But there will be sauce. I guarantee it. My daughter has okay. My daughter is going all over the world. She has she's made a list of stuff that she has to have, and that's one of them. Oh, asked if I struggle with depression. If you do not mind. No, I don't. No, I've had times that I've struggled with depression, and I've treated it, and I've had good luck with it. But yeah, I've had times that I've been very depressed. But it was situational. You know, things going on in my life, and you know, and I've tried different antidepressants, and some worked better than others. You know, how are my daughter's plans going? Great. She shot a wedding yesterday, and somehow either somebody took the money out of her bag, or she dropped it, which I don't think she would do that. But she was freaking out a little bit, to be honest with you, because she needs that money to travel on, obviously. But I told her we got her. We'll take care of her. But she's getting ready to go to Iceland and then Ireland. And I think she's got a wedding in Iceland, believe it or not. She is such a hustler. you know, she's going on vacation to Iceland and Ireland, and leave it to her to book a gig to shoot a wedding in Iceland, you know, while she's there. She's a moneymaker, let me tell you. But she's always been like that. She's always been able to figure out a way to, you know, pay for her trips or something like that with photography or, you know, whatever. But, you know, nothing illegal ever, of course. But I've always respected that in her. And she's like, well, Mom, you taught me. You worked how many jobs? You always figured out a way to pay for things. And that just makes me real proud. But yeah, Iceland is supposed to be amazing. And that's like the big new travel destination. And I'm just like, you got to take tons of pictures. And she said, well, of course I will. And Iceland, Ireland, and then I'm not sure where she's going next, but I'm real happy for her. But she paid for the trip herself way in advance. And but I just hate that she lost that money from the wedding, you know, because that was a good chunk. I honestly don't remember not being depressed. I'm diagnosed bipolar disorder. Are there always two extremes? And what are things supposed to be like? You just got here. Well, welcome, Kelly girl. Well, life is made up of extremes, and then sometimes we're in the middle, you know. And with you being bipolar, I don't know if are you categorized bipolar 1 or bipolar 2. Now, bipolar 2 is when you're more depressed and you haven't, PACUD, no sight or hearing problems. Kelly girl, if you're more depressed, it's usually diagnosed as bipolar 2. And, you know, right, okay. Then you need to make sure you stay on your antidepressants. And sometimes with bipolar 2 patients, they will layer depressants. They'll give you an SSRI and then an SRI. And they can work together to make sure that, you know, your brain chemistry is a little bit is lifted, you know, that you're on the happier side of things. And they won't give you as much mood stabilizer. They'll keep that lower. That way your moods are going to tend to be higher. And do you have anxiety along with it? I have Zoloft and Lamictal. Lamictal is your mood stabilizer, and Lamictal is very good. Lamictal is one of the most common mood stabilizers because it's one of the best, to be honest, if you can tolerate it. Zoloft is very good. One of the few things that I hear is that it decreases your sex drive. That's what I hear a lot about that. But can opiate withdrawals kill you? No. DSMT, the Chinese made, it's what tramadol is converted to by your liver. No, opiate withdrawals are not going to kill you. I've never heard of anybody dying from opiate withdrawal unless you're on a huge ton and you quit cold turkey. And, you know, I don't know, it doesn't give you seizures. Usually, I mean, you can cold turkey it and you're going to be sick, but it's not going to kill you. You're going to think you're going to die, but it's not going to kill you. Benzos will kill you, but opiates won't. And you can't overdose on Xanax and shit like that. The benzos, no. You'd have to be drowned in a vat of it. Let's see. If the Zoloft isn't doing enough to keep you from being in a real low depression, bad stop, yeah, you'll wish you were dead. Opiate withdrawal will make you sick. Yeah. If the Zoloft isn't doing enough, ask to try something new. You can always ask to change. You know, it'll take about 6 weeks to get the Zoloft out of your system and the new one in, but you can always ask to change to something new to see if you can find something better. You know, they're coming out with new stuff all the time, and I think you should try it. Just, you know, ask. I don't know what all you've been on before, but, you know, I don't have your assessment in front of me, obviously. But talk to your doctor. Keep an open line of communication with your doctor. That's extremely important. Perimeter music, yeah, I would dread it too. But you know what? The first week is going to be your hardest. You're going to feel like shit for a week. Go ahead and take a vacation from work, or if you don't work, be prepared. You're gonna be on the toilets from both ends. You're gonna feel like shit all over. You're gonna be in pain. You're gonna feel like crap. But you know what? The second week it's gonna be easier. It's not gonna be all better, but it'll get easier. And see your counselor. Talk to a counselor. Talk to a therapist. No, Kelly girl. It just makes you it makes you not want sex. Zoloft does. People say they have no desire. They don't want any sex. They're like, leave me alone. So, yeah, it's not like it's going to turn you into a sex machine or, make you kinky or anything like that. No, usually it just makes you not want any. Put it away. Stay away from me. Leave me alone. Yeah, and you definitely need to stay hydrated. Pirates telling you right. Yeah. And see, Steve, that's good, because when you take them when you need them, instead of taking them by the hour, like 3, they always say 3 a day. And, if you take 3 a day instead of when you need them, then that's how you get addicted. You do it like that. Wait a minute, people have died from opiate withdrawal, just opiate? Because, let me see that. And that's Australian. Let me read this real quick. Yeah, they can die if they have dehydrate. That's what they're saying. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're saying, Kelly. That's why you have to stay hydrated. But the opiate withdrawal itself that won't make you die. You just have to stay hydrated. It's just like with anything else, anything that makes you have nausea or vomiting, which opiate withdrawal does. You got to make sure you don't. You really want to tell your doctor, but no, don't ever be embarrassed by wanting to get better. Okay, that's what doctors are for. Okay. Steve, you're very naughty. He doesn't have a wife at the moment. But I think he's looking. He's a handsome widower from West Virginia. Perimeter, talk to your doctor, talk to your doctor's nurse, and talk to them and see what they can offer you. That's the best that I can do. You can do a cold, like I say, see a counselor, and do it with medical supervision. Tell your doctor you're going to do it. Talk to a therapist, talk to your psychologist, psychiatrist, and tell them what you're doing. Tell them that you're going to need support, and they can help you get a sponsor, get someone that you can talk to at all times. Get you into Alcoholics Anonymous, or I don't particularly like NA, but Narcanon, whatever, and then so you have someone to help you through it, to talk you through it. And make sure you're hydrated. Get something get some Imodium or something like that, and but be prepared. Know what you're going to get in for. Okay. And definitely come back here and tell us how you're doing. Keep us updated because we care. Okay. You got your libido back after getting your IUD removed. I've heard that happens. AA really works if you work it and you want to work it, you can it's really good for people. I know people who go and swear by it, and then I know people are like, I can't really handle it, it's not my thing. So they go to other group therapy, or they prefer one-on-one therapy, or just working with a sponsor. But you got to try. You got to try. I bet he was pleasantly surprised though, wasn't he, Kelly? He's like, woohoo, got my wife back. Ta-da! Did he go out and buy you something sexy wear? Some nice lingerie? That's right. Get your hands on some Zofran or Phenergan. Absolutely. Uh, Kelly's just laughing. I live on Zofran and Phenergan because of ever since I've had my stomach surgery. And let me tell you, I don't know how I would have made it without them. Oh, by the way, formerly known as DMC, had her video put on VHS archives. And if you all haven't seen it yet, you need to go see it. It's very, very good. They are different names in the UK, but it has Kelly. If you want to put the link to that in there, it's very interesting. And he gives the VHS archives gives her full credit on it, and it's very, very good. Yeah, Pirate has extensive experience with, people detoxing and what they need and what they use. Yeah, your mango video. Yes. Yeah, put the link to it up in here. You all have to see this. If you do follow drama and you do know about Steve Mango and all the nonsense that's been going on, she did a video on it, and it's very good. Gives very good information, factual all the way down through. Except she couldn't find where he threw a fit over my video, which I showed his public email address, and he kind of threw a hissy fit. Yeah, perimeter definitely. Perimeter definitely get in touch. Get in touch with Pirate. She'll help you through that, and she's a great resource. And your GP can write you a prescription for those. And there's the link to her mango video. So y'all hit that link, and that way you can watch it. Because I'm getting ready. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to shut down. So you all click that link to watch Kelly's video, and definitely Perimeter, get in touch with Pirate so she can help you through that. And we definitely want to have you back next week, and you can tell us how you're feeling. Promethazine, when I take it, I only take 12.5 milligrams at a time. And it's like the nausea goes away, but then I sometimes get a little sleepy for some reason. I'm still working on the hypocrisy about you. Yeah, I know. How crazy was that? You all, I'll let her do the video and yeah. Well, Pirate, you're good for helping him get the resources, and have the courage to be able to go to his doctor, and you know, and there's always Dramamine. It's not as good, but yeah, I know what you meant, honey. Um, my doctor gives me Phenergan all the time because it's about the only thing that keeps me from dehydrating. Bye. There's my husband coming in the house. There go the dogs. All right. You all can keep chatting, but I'm going to close the broadcast. I love you. You love you. I'm going to make that stop. Have a good one. Bye, y'all. All right, sweetie, it stopped.